What is going on, everybody? My name is Wadi the Crypto Hunter, and welcome to today's AMA with Flight Force 4. Great game, P2E game, and NFT, and I understand there's also a token, but don't take my word for it. Let's bring the main man of the hour, Sean. What's going on, Sean?
Hi, how are you going?
Pretty good, and yourself?
Yeah, really good.
That's good. That's good. So Sean, first I want you to tell me a bit about yourself, and then we could jump into some questions about the project.
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously, my name's Sean, and I'm the co-founder of Flight Force 4. I've also got my other co-founder, CC, here. So, yeah, my background, I guess, is business management and project management. I've been in Web3 for around 3 years now. So, started off on a rampage, learning everything, thinking I was late to the space, which was, yeah, not the case. We're still all very early. But yeah, I spent the first year kind of learning the ropes and got involved in early round investment with Web3 startups and then also into crypto education. So yeah, did which led me to where we are now. We've obviously building a big game and a really cool project. So that's a little bit about me. We do have a team, obviously co-founder as well. We've got two devs, an artist, a 3D artist, and a game studio as well. So, but yeah.
Okay, so basically, explain to me a little bit first about what's the project about.
Yeah, so we're building a play and earn, but also a rent and earn first-person shooter. So it's a player versus player multiplayer game online. Similar to. So I guess we're going for a bit of a mixture of a few things. I'd love to have the simplicity of like Counter Strike, and then combine that with more modern games like Halo, because it is a space-themed shooter game that we're creating, but also like a Call of Duty Warzones type of a feel where we're going to start with smaller maps that get extended on, and eventually they just keep growing and growing, and it crosses there's actually 5 planets. So yeah, the possibilities in terms of expansion are kind of endless. But yeah, there's a lot to the project, but that's the gist is that yeah, you're going to be able to run around and shoot people and earn tokens. And if you're not
Yeah.
into that, there's also a lot of other angles as well, including like the tokens as you briefly mentioned. But also we have multiverse integration, so metaverse capability, which is hopefully going to be next month. We'll be able to run around in a metaverse world that we've had built for us just for our OG Defender collection.
Oh, cool, cool. So basically, you created a game like Halo, which pretty good game by the way, and Call of
Mhm.
Duty, which is another great game. So, and now the metaverse that's going to be available more or less, you said next month
Yeah, so
or
it's
a
looking
couple
like
of
the multiverse will be integrated before the game. So the reason for this is we were hoping to integrate the metaverse into the project somewhere along the lines, but it was going to be far further down the track, and we managed to get put in touch with a project called Zombie Social Club, which they are building what they're calling the multiverse, and they've done all the hard work. So we're lucky enough to just be able to essentially get a custom world built for us, and then drop our characters in. So very lucky to have that, because that would have been yeah, a lot of work on top of building a game. So yeah.
Okay, now how long have you been working on this project?
So we started off, well, technically in November last year. So That was going to be using the same characters, but it was going to be a very different project built on Terra. So Terra, if no one's familiar with that, was it was a chain which had Luna and UST, which was a stable coin, and earlier this year, unfortunately, it basically got wiped out. So this was before we launched, which is very lucky, and allowed us to pivot into building a game. So we've been on building this game and this project for over 9 months now. The game studio has been working on the 3D characters and the game itself for around just over 3 months now.
Okay. And I'm guessing this video right here is part of the game or part of the metaverse.
So that's the metaverse, yeah. So that's a sneak peek of the actual world that we've had built, and obviously you got the spaceship there. So it's a pretty cool video. You will be able to fly those spaceships around. They're a pretty awesome asset. But yeah, that's a little sneak peek on the world that people will be able to run around on very soon.
Okay, great. Now, what is the difference between the OG, which is called Flight Force, and the Helios? Those are the NFT, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So we had our OGs. We minted those over a month ago now. So this is like I guess what people would call like a Genesis collection. This is our premier collection. There's only 1,000 of these. They are heavily rewarded, and they have So all of our NFTs have a token claim. Essentially, you're buying the token and getting an NFT, which gives you access to everything else that we're building, but also the NFT is something that you'll be able to rent out. So the difference between the collection is there's not a lot in terms of the visual side. The Helios collection we've got 4 planets that these defenders they inhabit, and so they've all got their own story and lore. So the Helios planet is the blue planet, and that is the current collection of 2,000. So they're separate collections, but I guess you would say that the OGs are like the Genesis collection, and the Helios is a sub community in a way, with lesser, lots of benefits, but not as many benefits as the OGs. So, for example, the OGs, they get access to the multiverse. That world we've built just for them. So we'll be building other worlds, which the other collections will get access to, but also the OGs get more tokens. They get more access to things earlier. They're going to get access to the game. So they'll be part of our beta testing. So when we do launch the beta version of the game, they'll get the first access. And so I think they're very similar collections with different benefits.
Okay. So I'm just thinking here real quick. The is Are they both done minting or they're still minting?
So we're currently minting the Helios still. So as I mentioned, the OGs were about a month ago, so that's closed. You can buy them on OpenSea.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Helios collection we are still minting on our website. So they're minting at public price for about 0.023 ETH. So around about 30. Well, now that ETH's decided to go up a little in the last few days, it's I think around $33, something like that.
Okay. Wait. What's the price on them?
0.023 ETH, which is around $30, $33.
Okay. Yeah, though that's a pretty affordable price. So yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
lots of value on offer.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But I did notice that majority of the people is not even trying to sell them.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know what they're holding. I think due to the fact that we're allocating 10% of our total token supply to our NFT holders, and so because we haven't launched our token, that's a very large amount of tokens to be giving. So normally, we haven't gone down the VC road we are using we are trying to give back to our community and the people who are going to use our platform, and they're going to be in it for the long run. They understand our product. They are interested, and they're on board, as
Yeah.
opposed to venture capital groups who might, obviously they provide good funding in the beginning, but then that can lead to issues later when those tokens start getting released. We're trying
Yeah.
to avoid that, and so instead we're giving these tokens to our community. And so because we haven't released the token itself, yes, these defenders are getting a lot of tokens, but there's no, you can't put a tangible price on the token yet. So I think a lot of people are just waiting, but also there's a lot of other things you can use these NFTs for. I mean, you're going to get access to the multiverse, but also you can rent these NFTs. So yeah, there's a lot of unknowns so far in terms of people wanting to put them up for sale. I don't think anyone's rushing into that yet because I think they know there's some big things coming.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I saw well, when crypto chat hit me up about the project, I took a look at it, and then these videos right here, I was like, okay, this is a real good project. On top of that, when I went to your website, I see that everyone is completely doxxed, which is
Mm,
another plus in a lot of projects that, usually they don't like doxing themselves and stuff like that.
yeah, I think the main thing for us is that we're building a business. Yes, it's Web3. Well, I mean, for us, it's a bit of a combination of Web2 and Web3. The game itself is not going to be on chain, so
Mm.
technically, the game is Web2, and we're integrating tokens and NFTs. So we're trying to use a system that works, in terms of the game being from traditional gaming or Web2, and then we're bringing in the amazing advantages that NFTs and tokens can give people. So for us, it's a business, and we are a registered business as well. So yeah, absolutely. I just it's a no brainer for us to be doxed. But yeah, I think that's going to become a lot more common over the next 12 months with all
Yeah.
types of projects.
Yeah, see over here, this is you, this is CC, Campbell, Ricardo, and oh, these are just minting contract Deb and 3D Studio,
Mm,
Dream Inc.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope, well, yeah, that should hopefully link to their website. If not, I need to get that updated. But yeah, there's a few more in the team. We've got some good advisors in terms of tokenomics advisors, NFT advisors, but also just business advisors as well. Because this, as I mentioned, is it's a business, so that's how it's going
Yeah.
to be run.
I have a question. First of all, real quick, let me say hello to everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining. And listen to Tim, very wise man. Please like and subscribe. Appreciate you being here, Tim. Um, so Tim asks, which NFT gets the token allocation?
So both of them get token allocation. The OGs, so of that 10% allocation, so 10% of the token supply, the total token supply is going to holders. Of that 10%, the OGs are getting 50% of it. And so we have other collections coming, but the Helios collection get 12.5% of the 10%, which I think is around 6,250 tokens, and the OGs get 50,000 token claim each. So big difference in the tokens, but we do have a
Like,
pretty incredible
go.
minting incentive at the moment, where if you mint 3 of the Helios Defenders, you'll actually get a free OG as well. So yeah, lots of value on offer there.
So wait, if you have the OG, how many tokens you get?
50,000 each. Those get, which is going to be distributed over an 18-month period.
And if you get Helios,
They get 6,250 tokens each, which is around 12.5% of that of the 10% token supply.
okay. Now, if you own 3 Helios, you get 1 OG.
If you mint 3, yeah. So if you mint 3 or more in this current, we've set aside 250 OG NFTs in our treasury, which are unrevealed. So we'll be able to airdrop the first 250 users to that mint 3 or more. They'll get 6 NFTs. So just for holding the 3 Helios that they've minted, they'll get an Exion character, which is the alien. They are they're the enemy character, but they'll be another collection we release hopefully before the end of the year. And you'll also get, for minting those 3, you'll get an OG defender, which, as we just talked about, they come with 50,000 tokens, but they also give you access to one of those Exions. So you'll get 2 Exions, the 3 Helios defenders, and an OG. So 6 NFTs for the price of 3, and you'll get all the tokens that come with those NFTs. Plus you can now, you've now just created a little army that you can, you could play with your favorite, use your favorite one in the game and play with that, and rent the other 5 for some passive earning.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, Tim. It sounded like I need to mint 3.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, for the price less than 110, let's round it up, and get 6 NFTs plus the token. I'll go for that.
Yeah, so it's a pretty crazy, pretty crazy deal, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, this is the market we're in. We need to reward our early supporters and community, and that's how we want to do it as well, because these are the people who they've got involved while we're building, and they're on board. They like what we're doing, and we want to reward those people. And we're very community orientated. We want our community to be part of this and help us build this game, which we know we've already got people in the community that have already started helping, and there's so much more we can achieve together than if we just sort of ignore everyone and build the game as we wish.
Yeah, no, I actually noticed that on your Twitter you have about 8, well, let's just call it 9,000 followers. So that's pretty good there. And so far, how many holders do you notice, or you haven't been keeping track of it, or?
I think someone else asked this question earlier. I think it was around 300 or 350, somewhere around there.
Okay. Can I find any other videos here about? Oh, there you go. Like just playing the game or anything like that.
Yeah. So you've looked at the pinned tweet. That's the gameplay video of our training base. So we've only really got we released a lot of versions of that to the community as we were building and as we added new features on. So that first tweet, the pinned one, that is practice. That's a training map on Callion. So this is where users will first come when they open the game app, and this is where you'll learn the controls and learn how to use the weapons, and obviously shooting, reloading, changing weapons. So this particular map is actually the actual one that you'll run around on. And so the game studio right now is working on the next part of this map, which will be in the same facility, but it'll be a fully functional practice map where we'll all be able to run around and shoot each other and practice and get used to the game before we launch and obviously do the beta testing, which will be available to those OGs. And also, we have a gaming guild, so we'll be handpicking some of those gaming guild users and players, and they'll be able to jump on board and help us with the testing and doing bug bounties and cool things like that.
Okay, cool. Um, Now, what platforms is the game going to be available on?
Yeah, so to begin with, it'll be an app that you can download for PC or Mac. We do have the aim is that will be available on mobile as well, because that's just a massive user base that we
Yeah.
would love to tap into. The idea, yeah, for us is that we want to tap into uh, there's millions of gamers around the world who can't afford um, you know PlayStation consoles and Xboxes and big TVs, and then even just to go and then buy the games they need to play. You're talking it's pretty big money for some people in different
Yeah.
parts of the world, and even buying these NFTs. Even though our NFTs to get involved at this level is it's only $30 roughly. That's still a lot of money to a lot of people, and so the idea is that we are going to have our gaming guild, and we're also working with other gaming guilds, which will be able to utilize our rental hub. And what it's going to do is it's going to allow us to have our own NFT treasury, where we can rent our own NFTs out to these gaming guild users who have earned scholarships, and we can rent them the NFTs for free. But those gamers can then go and play the game, level up and earn tokens, and we can split those tokens so that the gamer is getting some tokens, and Flight Force 4 also earning some money, so that we can build and scale and keep growing the game. But also, this is something that all of our NFT holders will be able to tap into as well, because this rental hub is going to be available for everyone, which is it's a really, really important part of this project, which is going to help create demand. It's going to create transactions, which is going to increase the revenue generation. And like I said, it opens up the world now for us to tap into a massive gamer base.
Okay. Sorry, I got a bit distracted because I was looking at this offer.
I think I'm pretty sure the numbers on the offer are off as well. It's actually more. So I think we so the yeah if I'll explain it to those watching. But essentially, we have got one of ones in this collection. I think there's still another 21 or 22 one of ones left in this Helios collection, and so the next person who mints one is going to get all of those NFTs that you had up on the screen just before, which is, I think, 16 or 17 we ended up counting. So you could potentially mint one of our Helios Defenders, and if it happens to be a one of one, you'll actually get 17 NFTs. So pretty crazy.
Okay, that's pretty cool though. What I was also going to say is this by any chance Unreal Engine or
So that what you're watching now on the video, that's Unity. That's our multiverse world, which is built in Unity. The characters are obviously going to be Unity, whereas the game is built in Unreal Engine 5. So it's going to be, we're going to be able to use our characters on both platforms, which will open up all sorts of opportunities in the future. So there's a lot of metaverses being built at the moment, and we'll be able to essentially just drop in and use our characters if we the hard work will have already been done on that end. So yeah, users are going to get access to anything that's built in Unreal Engine 5 or Unity,
yeah.
which is pretty cool.
I mean, they're both actually pretty good engine, Unity and Unreal.
Yeah.
Actually kind of a geek myself, so that's why I'm able to tell.
No,
so
that's good.
so basically my question is this: as far as the token, it hasn't been released yet. But when the token does get released, what's gonna be the utility?
Yeah, so it's actually a two token system. So we've got one token which we've actually released in our Discord now, which is called the FX token, and this is the token that you'll earn in the game. That's the token that you'll level up with, and you'll be able to do in-game purchases. So you'll be able to use that token to buy upgrades, new weapons, armor. In-game perks, that kind of thing, and then we have a secondary token. So there's no liquidity tied to the first one, and the second token will be the token you can cash out to. We'll have staking for both tokens, but essentially the second token you'll be able to swap that one you've earned for the one for the token, which is what all these NFTs are going to be getting, is that FXG token. And so that's a token you'll be able to cash out, and you'll be able to swap for other cryptocurrencies if you wanted to, take your value outside of the Flight Force 4 ecosystem.
Sweet.
And
Um,
that's, yeah, so that second token is going to be deflationary as well. So all of the transactions that happen on in this game, essentially most of the transaction fees will go into a wallet that'll be used for doing token buybacks, and we'll burn those tokens. So we'll be able to actually lower the supply of these of that FXG token. So yeah, it's going to become a deflationary system, which is generally a pretty good thing for tokens in crypto if it's done right.
yeah, yeah. No, it really is. Buy or sell tax or
Yeah, that's right. So there'll be a tax on when you swap from the first token to the second token. There will be a tax, and again, that tax will go into that wallet, which will be
no.
used for.
I heard that, but I'm saying what's the percentage on the buy and sell tax? Or
We
you
haven't come up.
haven't thought about it? Okay.
No, like we've thought about it, but I think the idea is we're going to need to do some testing on the whole system. We want to make it so that we want to get that percentage right. It needs to be the right amount that allows us to create a sustainable system, but we don't want it to be too much that deters people from using the system. So we're going to have to get the balance right. It's not something that we can just, oh, we'll think of a number and that'll work. We're going to have to test it all and get it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even then, I think there'll be tweaks as we go and grow, because as we scale, you know, the idea is that we bring on a lot of users, and that could change everything. So
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, but I already found the question. I mean, the answer to the question, which is how many NFTs and each collection and the total supply of each token, or you haven't figured that part out yet either.
yeah, so the FX token is an unlimited supply. As I mentioned, it's going to have no liquidity tied to it. So it's essentially going to be worth nothing in basic terms. But as soon as you go to swap it, that token is going to be worth at all times 10 cents of our FXG token. Whatever our FXG token, it could be worth $1, it could be worth 5 cents, but at all times, FX token will always be worth 10 cents. And that FX token has a total supply of 1 billion. And obviously, of that 1 billion, 10% of those tokens are going to go to NFT holders. And then obviously, and this is all in our white paper too, if anyone does want to check out the details.
Okay.
So yeah, the supply, yeah, is a billion, but it's going to be deflationary. But yeah, so there's a system there. But in terms of the NFT supply, that's going to depend entirely on demand. I mean, the idea is that we want to have thousands and thousands of people playing this game, but I also recognize that it's not realistic that in the short term we have, one NFT per person. That's very rare in the space in
Yeah.
any project. But so you're going to have multiple holders. So we're going to have as soon as we can see that there's demand for more NFTs, because essentially you can't play the game unless you have the NFT, which you don't want that to be your bottleneck.
Okay, I understand that part. Um, so basically, I was reading in here a little bit the backstory, which is based in 2087 across five planets. Flight Force 4 is centered around a war between the Defenders, humans, and the Exions, alien. The war is about survival and gaining control of the planet and their unique resources. Four planets are controlled by the Defender. However, the most valuable planet, Earth 2, is now controlled by the Exions after a huge battle.
Yeah,
Okay. So this is the vision, which is usually one of the last question I ask. As this game grows in scale, we will have more and more maps, planet, modes of transport, characters, and items, creating a very complete gaming model over time. Flight Force 4 will provide itself over time, constantly innovating and improving the entire project by involving our incredible community in all that we create. I think that's pretty awesome, man. Um, no, like I mean, I seen certain projects, but I'm impressed with this one.
well,
So
thank you. We love what we're building too. I think it's going to be an incredible journey, and we know that obviously the market's not great at the moment for anyone, but
yeah,
which gives us great chance to build. A lot of people call it now a builder's market,
it's
which
excellent.
I like to call it that as well.
Yeah, no, I mean that's like, for example, I've been in the crypto space for 5 years, but I just started my YouTube channel about 5 months, 5 to 6 months ago. So, but
Nice.
yeah, I believe this is a builder's market, and that whoever start accumulating now will benefit when the next bull run comes in around 2024, early 2025. That's my thoughts. So,
Yeah, that's right. It's there's a lot of good projects building at the moment, and jumping on board those. I mean, you're talking about these projects being a heavy discount, no matter if it's a token or if it's an NFT. If they're a good project, yeah, this is the time to be accumulating.
yeah. And I was gonna say, so I know the game is also going to be play to earn, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, essentially, we like to call it play and earn. It's a The reason is because we don't want it to be a game that people only play because they can earn. The goal for us is to build something good enough that people want to play it and earn. You can earn that token and level up and use that token. No different to using a normal Web 2 game where obviously you can purchase things through PlayStation Store, or where
Yeah,
you might want a new skin or a new upgrade or something like that. Whereas we want to create a system where you either you can use your tokens to level up and progress through the game, or you can use it for a combination of that, cashing out. Maybe you want to swap it for the FXG token and maybe stake some of those tokens. But there's going to be an option for everyone. If you don't like gaming, then there's still something here for you. You might like to be part of the multiverse. You might want to use that character, and you might just use those, rather than, like someone might buy an NFT and just hope it goes up in value and flip it.
yeah,
Whereas the idea for us is we want to we want people to have more than one option than just buying or selling it. So there's the tokens, there's the ability to rent. There's going to be multiple platforms you can use these NFTs. You're going to be able to earn tokens in our multiverse as well. So there's going to be opportunities to get value from these NFTs. It's just going to keep growing and expanding over time, which is really, really exciting.
Okay, so basically, just in general, you made it crystal clear you guys are here to stay. So
That's
a big
right.
plus. um,
Absolutely.
so the first version you say is gonna be PC. Have you tried like maybe a mobile, like on Play Store or anything like that?
Yeah, well, that's the plan. Like I said earlier, there's a bigger market in mobile than there is in PC and
Yeah,
um, console, and it's simply because it's cheaper. Some people can buy a phone that has got a good enough system to play a simple game that you can download from the app store, and maybe the game's free, or maybe the game costs you $3 or $4, $5, and there's people all around the world that are doing that, and it would be silly for us to not want to create a platform to tap into that audience. Purely from a business perspective, it's a no-brainer for us. So that's something that we will look at. But it's we want to create the game first. For us, the most important part is creating a really good game. Everything else will come from there. It's
yeah,
gonna, yeah, and we have a lot of things in place. Sorry, to allow us to just, yeah, once we get that right, we can integrate everything else, and it will work. It's a pretty detailed plan, with a lot of different angles and flexibility as well, because we don't want to just go all in and then 6 months from now, oh, we didn't think about this or we didn't think about that. We're creating the system so it has some flexibility, and it can remain sustainable, because that's another thing that games have struggled with, is remaining sustainable. Like in terms of the token itself, being inflationary, and essentially the value being driven out of the token as people
yeah.
exit, and cash out.
Well, I am a little bit curious how it will work with the Cash App part, but I'm guessing you guys already thought about that part. Um,
Yeah, so that's the idea of, uh, the more people playing, the more transactions, the more we can then purchase that token and buy it back, the more we can burn that token, and the more we can control the value. And so, not control the value, but at least negate a negative effect on that token in terms of the price. But also, the idea for us is to keep you want to keep as many tokens in the system as possible. You don't want to take the ability for people to cash out away. That's huge. You've got to accept that people are going to cash out, and that's absolutely fine. We want people to do that, but the idea for us is to give users multiple options, in terms of, there's not just one. You earn tokens and then you sell it, and that's that. You're going to be able to stake, you're going to be able to purchase more items, and level up, and we will incentivize people leveling up. You won't be able to get to the next level unless you've leveled up, or maybe you've bought a map pass, or maybe you've had to level up to a certain point before you can get access. As soon as we start going between planets, you're going to have to pay for. You're either going to have a spaceship, or you're going to have to pay to get on a spaceship to get to the planet. So there's going to be a lot of things that people are going to want to keep playing, and that can. We have like a token boost system, and this is the way that we reward users. So to begin with, we'll have one or two maps, and as soon as we get the next map ready and added on, we will de-incentivize the token boost on the old map and incentivize the token boost on the new map. So people are going to want to get to the new map because they know they can earn more. but they're going to have to either gain some items, or they're going to have to level up to a certain point before they can get
Yeah.
access. And so the idea is we just keep creating really cool things that people want to get to, no different to any other game, and that obviously keeps tokens in the system, keeps people interested and excited, and then obviously that's beneficial for the project in general.
Okay, so I I get that part. Now, as far as the metaverse part, how will the tokens take part of it?
Yeah, so this is something that we are working on now, actually, in terms of it will be more so of a reward type of thing. So we'll be able to host games. We'll be able to host. One thing that we're going to be doing was for our OG defenders, we're doing a defender bounty hunt, and so originally it was going to just be Discord or Twitter based, and we would release some traits, and people would have to figure out the traits and eventually try and guess which defender, that we're trying to find. And there'd be prizes and NFTs and those tokens up for grabs. Whereas now that we have the multiverse, we've delayed it, and we're going to hold this defender bounty in the multiverse, so we'll be able to hide traits throughout the whole multiverse, and our users, our OGs, will be running around searching for these traits and looking everywhere all over our world. And eventually, once they've got enough traits that they think they can figure out which defender we're looking for, they'll be able to have one guess, and if they get it right, they're the winner, and there'll be tokens, USDC and NFTs up for grabs. So that's just one example of how we would use the token. There's also the ability to mint NFTs in the multiverse, which is something that the guys that are creating the platform from Zombie Social Club are excited about too. Is rather than just go to a website and hook up your wallet and mint NFTs, you might have a whitelist, which obviously a whitelist or an allow list will get you access to an NFT mint before everyone else, and maybe it gets you a discount. Well, now you'll be able to do a whitelist where you can only take part if you go into the multiverse or the metaverse, and maybe there'll be like an area somewhere that you can go walk up to and click a button, and you can mint an NFT from there. And you've got a lineup of 3D characters waiting to mint mint an NFT. So that's something we'll be able to also incorporate, which is, really the multiverse has no limits. We're going to see some pretty crazy stuff over the next 12 months, which is exciting to be part of as well, because our community and our NFT holders now have a drop-in option that we can straight away be part of something that it's massive, really.
Yep. All right. So, and then after that, I think I'm done with questioning. If anybody else in the chat have any question, but my final question is marketing strategy, and I would say any major partnership that you're trying to make or that you want to make or looking forward to make.
Yeah, so I think in this market, it's really difficult to do any marketing. And you've got projects that if they've got a lot of money, they can throw money at it and market that way. Whereas we are putting the funds we have into building the project, but also our angle is we need to appeal to as many users as possible, and that comes from either getting collabing with other projects and getting involved with other similar games and multiverse or metaverse type projects, so that we have a common interest. So that's something that we're actively pursuing now. Is we're going to be hosting Twitter Spaces that are specifically for gaming, where we can bring on other projects that get the chance to talk about their project, but also it introduces everyone to a new audience and a new community. And I think that's something that's really important in this market because, I would say, I'd hate to think what the real numbers are, but I would say at least 90% of the people who were involved in crypto this time last year are gone. And
Yeah,
the few that remain are amazing, and they are very loyal to the projects that they have invested into, and they kind of just stick to those groups and very cautious about anything else that's new. But the way that you can reach those people is by teaming up with projects that they're already involved with, and that's definitely something that we are pushing on, because not only you didn't get a chance to network, you get to learn from other projects. You can see what they're doing and having success with, and that's kind of that's our main push. Ideally, yeah, you want to be teaming up with some big projects to get more exposure, but everyone's kind of building, and yeah, but that's, I think, the main thing for us is we've tried a lot of things that worked 12 months ago in a bull market, and unfortunately those things don't work in
yeah,
this
yeah.
market.
I mean, it is a lot harder now with a bear market because everyone essentially is thinking, you know what? Bitcoin is dropping, everything else is gonna drop. So what's the point?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the mentality. But
Mm.
we have a question from Oziwe. I'm sorry if I didn't say it correctly. He said, "How long do we expect to start playing this game?"
Yeah, good question. So, yeah, as I mentioned, the game studio are working on that multiplayer practice map, which there's a lot involved in that. But that combined with the shooting range that's in that video will be our beta version, and so that's the idea, is to launch that this year, and that'll be uh, exclusive access for anyone who owns an OG. They'll have an opportunity to play that and test it. And obviously, as I mentioned, we'll be doing bug bounties and streaming competitions as well, where we reward anyone who finds any issues or bugs, and that will basically play out for as long as need be. There'll be an alpha version, which I mentioned earlier. I think we'll try and integrate the tokens on testnet and just see how everything functions. So in terms of the game itself, where you'll be able to play the game with full functionality of the rental hub and obviously the swap area where you can swap your tokens, that'll be next year. We're hoping for late Q1, but obviously, there's a lot of factors between now and then. So yeah, that's hopefully, yeah, the end of the year that our community will be able to play around on this beta version, and then from there, we're hoping we can get that game out. The idea and the way that we're actually even able to do something of this scale is because we are starting with just the two maps, and basically the idea is we start very small, but we can expand straight away. We can just, we get the model right and we get the game right. It's then just about, creating more maps and creating different maps, and obviously adding different weapons and upgrades and different game modes as well. That'll be another thing that we start with. It'll just be deathmatch. So basically, it'll be like a 5-minute game where it's, team versus team, and you respawn when you die. But yeah, the ways that which we haven't covered either, I just quickly will say, you earn tokens in this game by one, playing the game, so long as you're not just sitting in the corner of the map eating your dinner and farming tokens. You'll get kicked pretty quickly. But time played will be one way you can earn tokens. Obviously, killing people, headshots will be more. You'll also be judged on your kill to death ratio. So the more you die, that's it's going to be a factor. But also uh, where you finish at the end of the match on the leaderboard. And obviously, if your team wins as well, that'll be a bonus. So, but that's to begin with. That'll be the one game mode that we have, and then we'll expand to things like capture the flag and all the classic game modes, where you'll be able to find other ways, of earning those tokens.
Yeah. No, I actually found that hilarious because I could picture somebody just waiting in the corner. That's it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I was gonna say, is there going to be like a versus mode where I'll be able to challenge you type of stuff, or
Yeah, so that will we a big part of this game as well will be our championships and tournaments. So you'll be able to buy in, but you'll also be able to, you'll be able to create your own tournament, which could literally, yeah, just be one versus one. And, maybe you challenge me and you're like, right, I'm going to challenge you to, we'll put 5,000 tokens each up and whoever wins gets them all. The idea is that we'll have a system that, yeah, puts those tokens in an escrow account and then delivers it to the winner. But yeah, the other side of that is, you can have some pretty massive tournaments if you've got 100 people that they all have a buy-in, and then that buy-in goes into a prize pool. But we'd like to also host tournaments and put up prizes as well and add to that prize pool. So this, yeah, will be a big feature for the game, definitely, because that's another way that people can earn tokens in a much quicker way.
yeah. Now, and I know I did said earlier that was my last question, but as we're speaking, a new question pops up. And I was gonna say, are these already minted out, or and if you do mint one of these, uh,
So the one of ones.
yeah,
Yeah, so I think from that one's I know the last one just got minted the other day actually, which is the blue one at the end of the video. But a lot of those have been minted. Some of them are either in our treasury or they're in those unrevealed OG defenders. And so we have, if I remember, I mentioned the first 250 users who mint 3 Helios or more, they'll get an unrevealed OG defender. And one of those could actually be a one of one, which would be another bonus. So yeah, of the current collection though, I think we have around 20 left of these one of ones, and they're anything from cult movie heroes to cartoon characters to celebrities. But
yeah,
yeah,
I
they're
noticed. I
there's a
noticed
bit of everything.
Snoop Dogg. I noticed Predator,
Predator, Maverick.
Dark Vader. No, his name was Sif, the red one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The Darth Maul. Darth Maul.
yeah, Dark Maul. There you go. Um,
Yeah,
so no, I mean, these are pretty cool. But what I was trying to ask is, if you mint one of those, right, or
yeah.
you already own one of those, then does by any chance the reward on the tokens like boost up a little bit, at least by 20 or 10 more?
I mean, it's something that we could look at, but at this stage, it's not. It's basically they are ranked very high, obviously in visual traits, but we also have game traits, so in-game ranks, and so those are pretty much the highest that you can get, and that allows you. Basically when you first get into the game, the higher your in-game rank, the quicker you're going to be able to just select perks that you want to use, and if like just traditional in-game perks, like you might be able to sprint fast, or you might be able to reload fast, or you might be able to carry two primary weapons and things like that. So those points are going to be useful for getting those right at the start of the game. Otherwise, if you have a NFT which has a lower in-game trait perk rank, you're going to have to level up for a while before you can start buying those perks with the tokens.
Okay. And just gotta say, man, this one right here, I'm loving it. Xeon Destroyer 2, that's Michael Jordan, the original. And I took that personally. which is in Flight Force
Yeah,
for NFT. This is fire
yeah,
right here.
yeah. There's so it's a meme competition that we've got going on in the Discord and Twitter, where the best meme is going to be voted on. So it's a system where whoever has the most likes on their meme, the top three go into a vote, and then we'll all vote on those top three to select. That'll choose the order of and so the first place is actually going to get that MJ one of one. So pretty awesome prize just for creating some cool memes. If anyone's interested in getting involved in that.
Okay. Um. So just out of curiosity, you ever try like tagging the actual celebrities? That
I
might
think we
try
did
to
in the
get a bit
beginning.
of attention. Huh?
We did in the beginning. I think it takes something special to get their attention, but yeah, we didn't have any luck with getting any responses from any celebs.
Mm.
But I mean, yeah, you never know if they see it or not. But so, yeah, we chose people that are involved in Web three. All of those celebs, they're interested, or they collect NFTs and they understand it at the very least. So
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit of a vote to them.
Okay. Well, I will stop with the interrogation now.
No, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, usually I try and, like I told you last time, make it a little bit of fun, but this is a total different area because it is an actual game. Um, cool NFTs, waiting for the token launch, and then when that happens, most likely I might ask you if possible to come back, and we could
Yeah,
talk
for sure.
about what are the plans for that. But
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Um, in the meantime, I mean, we still got 3 minutes, but any last statement, anything that you want to suggest to the crowd? Feel
Yeah,
free.
I guess if you want to learn a bit more, either jump in our Discord. CC and I and the team are always in there. We love talking with the community. If you've got a question, just ask it. We will answer it. It'll be us that come in and answer it. And yeah, we have a lot on that website that you were looking at. So you've got the white paper there. If you want to know, it's a very detailed, but it's a very easy read. So it'll explain everything in depth and give you a really good understanding of what we're building. Also, yeah, jump. Yeah, there's the mint. There's so much incentive at the moment for you to mint. And whether you're just getting one or whether you go for the three and get the six. But yeah, it's a project that has been building for a while, and it's starting now to gain some traction, and it's really exciting what we're doing, and the community's growing and loving it, and yeah. So, but I also want to thank you for having us on your show. It's been really fun and enjoy. So, guys, yeah, like and subscribe to the channel, and yeah, give Sky the support, as well as us. All these projects love the support, but these people putting up the content on YouTube, they're awesome, and we really appreciate this opportunity.
I really appreciate that. And guys, likewise, look into this project. Obviously, I'm supposed to say in a financial advice, the whole deal, but definitely look into this project. Their link tree is actually on the video description. And I really appreciate you guys coming on to my channel and presenting this project. I mean, I'm just stunned by it. I like the idea, the play to earn, the whole Halo type of feeling. So
Yeah.
yeah, great.
Yeah, no, we'll
Well,
have to do it again.
I'll go ahead.
No, I was just saying we'll have to do it again in the future
Yeah,
soon.
in the future for sure. And with that being said, thank you everyone that was in the chat for the love and support like always. Have a blessed night and enjoy the weekend because it's already there.
That's it.